Drop it on the random.
What up, y'all? I am your host, Vegas, and this is One2Flow. The topic today is 2018 first half. Is it too much damn music out? That's the point. 2018 so far has been a dope year for hip-hop music. There's been so many albums and projects and mixtapes that have dropped from every variety of sound of hip-hop that you would enjoy, from thoughtful lyrics to bars to highly anticipated albums. If you smoke type music, I'm looking at Currency. But all types of hip-hop and quality music. That's the thing. A lot of times, there've been years where we've gotten a lot of music, but not all of it has been great. We could easily pick out a top 5 or a top 3. But 2018 has seen a half that's really put out some really dope music. And let's just say this, not everybody knows everything that's out. Not everybody knows who's worth listening to and who's not. And honestly, I'm not going to do that here. But I will toss some names at you. But one thing that I guess, and I'm not being greedy, but I guess I don't like about 2018 so far is the fact that maybe there's just too much music. And I know that sounds crazy, but honestly, it's one of those things where it's so much music that it's hard to even take the time to sit with an album. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain albums that have dropped, like for example, like Sky Zoo's album, Celebration of Us. Very dope album. But I haven't really had much time to sit with it, because at the time it dropped, you also had Nipsey Hussle's album Victory Lap, which is very dope but very different from Sky Zoo's album. And obviously, sure, I can listen to 2 different albums at the same time. I could even listen to 3, because it just depends on when you listen to them. But it seemed like week after week after week, more and more albums would drop, and a lot of them will be good. And a lot of them will have tones that are similar. Like I mentioned, Sky Zoo's album. Well, Royce da 5'9's Book of Ryan has a lot of similarities. He talks a lot about his upbringing. He talks a lot about being a father, being a man, raising a child, things of that nature. And, Book of Ryan is just as dope. Probably easily in one of my top 5 of 2018. And the list just went on and on. We got Pusha T's album, we got a Nas album, we got a Kanye album, we got a Black Thought album. I know some of them were 7 tracks, but yet and still it was new music. We just got a new Meek Mill EP. What else? It just goes on and on. Flatbush Zombies put out a dope album. Currency, like I mentioned earlier. So much music. Elzai, that's coming out in the first half of the year, and we didn't even get to the second half. Now, honestly, what possibly could come out that could be big? We even got a new Jay-Z album, even though it's with Beyonce, yet and still, those who are big fans of Jay-Z, you get a couple of bars. You know what I'm saying? You get some new Jay-Z raps. But it's kind of, it brings back that same question, man. How much is too much? And I almost feel like, for me personally, somebody who's going to survey all the albums, or at least as many as I can, that come out because I have an interest, something's not going to get listened to as much. Something's going to get forgotten about. Sky Zoo's album, I totally forgot it came out, because there was so much that came out that I was listening to. Black Milk's album Fever, which is very dope, very different from half the stuff I named. I haven't even given that much burn, and it's a very good album. And it goes on and on and on. And I just don't remember a year. Go ahead, man. I don't remember a year, and correct me if I'm wrong, where it was just this much material, saying that it was overwhelming. But I really can't complain because it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. And there's a lot of quality music out there. So some of those artists I named, some of those albums I named, if you're a hip-hop fan, you check them out, go for what you like. Like, look, I didn't even mention that Styles P put out an album. You know what I'm saying? You got Westside Gunn put out a project. Like, it goes on and on. So depending on what you like to hear in hip-hop, there's no reason at this point that you can say, oh, there's nothing out. Because there's more than enough hip-hop to go around. It's just that a person like me that listens to a variety, I'm going to have to narrow this list down to just a couple of cats. That's going to do it for me for this week. You can follow the B-Roll Network and check out my podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast, available on iTunes, Google Play, and all of that. And until next time, y'all, me, Just the Camera. I am not a critic. I'm a fan. Peace.
Drop it on the random.